Hey everyone, welcome back to the course of HTML and CSS. And in today's video, we're going to work on our portfolio again, this time to make it a bit more attractive because the last one, which we made, was very simple. So let me show you. This is what we had last time. And we're going to make some changes, learn some new things, and change it into this. So you see, this is that dark effect in the background image, and which eventually helps us to get that attention to the text on the heading and this button over here. So it helps us to make it look more attractive to the user. And the more attractive your portfolio is, the more chances are for you to get a lot of work. It helps a lot. So let us work on it, and for now I'll just remove everything in the body here and in CSS as well. Okay, so before we start writing the CSS, I'll just the star is used to select all the elements, all the direct children. So we'll just give star as margin 0, so this applies to all, and something called box sizing, border box. So what happens in border box is when you add a margin or the padding, that gets added to the height of the element, and we don't want that. Suppose you have a box whose width is 200 px and you add some margin to it left or right. So you don't want that width to change. You want that to stay over there only. So that's why we use border box. So now let me show you another tag called header. Now you must be wondering what is header. So what actually header is that in websites we have the topmost part of the page is called the header. In Before HTML5, we used to write a div, and it was a general practice going on that the first element, the div class, we used to name it as header. So HTML5 gave us some new tags such as header and navigation bar and section and a lot of things. So it's more specific when we use header. Okay, great. So let us style the header. Now I'll have only one header over here, so I can just directly write header over here and style it. Let me add some background color to it. And before we do that, let us add an element h1 and let us give it a class called main heading. Uh, I'm just gonna add it inside a div class heading box. You'll get to know why. And over here we'll add our h1 class main heading. Okay, and heading will be of course our name over here. So right now it looks like this. And what we're going to do now is style the header. So let me tell you something. We're going to give it that dark effect I was talking about now. This effect. So let me show you that how to do that. So we use something called linear gradient. Now a linear gradient will be like, I'll give you an example. If I type linear gradient over here and wait, let me use background linear gradient, and I have to give two colors. So let one of them be red and let the other one be green. So 02550. So this is what linear gradient does. And to help us achieve the dark effect, let us first add an image over here through background image, and I'll add linear gradient. And this time, what we'll do is both the colors, I'll make it black. So the complete thing is the same thing. So for black, 0, 0, 0, and the fourth column is for transparency. So we need to make the color a bit transparent so we can see the background image. So I'll add zero point 0.7 over here and I'll do the same thing for the second color. Okay, so this is our linear gradient, and now let's add an image. We use a URL. Again, images slash background. Okay, so now our background should be there. What is the issue here? The header, background image, linear gradient. This is all perfect. Mm, okay, header. So let's see what the issue is. Background image, linear gradient has been added. I think a comma. Yeah. So the picture has been added, but you can't see it properly. That the issue is we need to add this height of the header. So the height again will be 100 VH, and you can only see part of the image. That's because the image was too big. So to fix that, we have another property called background size. And over here we use cover to show the complete image. Great. So you see now we have that background image with that dark effect. Now all we need to do is to get our heading on it along with the picture and everything. So this is our heading box and our heading is in black, so we are not able to see it properly. It's over here. So let's work on our heading. So dot main heading, because we have already given it a class main heading, and let's change its color to white. Okay, great. Now we can see it. So now I want to center this. So the last time what we did was to apply the display flex. This time let me show you another thing before we had the flex box. And this is what we can do is let us select the heading box. Is this? Yes, heading box. And over here I'm gonna make its position absolute. So when you make a position of an element absolute, you must also know that the its parent element's position should be relative. And I'm going to tell you what would happen after we make it absolute. Now I'm just going to specify two parameters over here. One is top 50% and left 50%. Okay, great. So you must have expected it to go in the center, but it's still slightly in the side. That is because the top 50 and the left 50 refer to this point. It's top left. So that's why this current point is at 50 and 50. So to fix this, again, we use a transform property and we translate it to minus 50%, minus 50%. Perfect. Now it's in the exact center of our page. Now let's style this and let us use a font family. Okay. And also increase the font size to around, okay, this is too much. Um, how about make it 30. Okay. And yes, I'm sorry. The issue was that I don't have to write this over here. The font size is to be written over here. Okay, and the font family, everything. Okay, great. So font family, we can keep it over here because we want the font family of the other text or the other text we're gonna add in the heading box to also be of the same font. Okay, so this is our heading and it's exactly where we wanted it to be. And now we're gonna add the image. So the image should be added above the heading. So let us add the image again img src and the path of the image self.jpg. Let us see where the image is. Yeah. So again we need to style it. So what we are gonna do over here, first I'm gonna set the display of the heading box to be in flex. So right now you can see as soon as you set the display to flex, the objects appear in a row. Okay, so to change that, we have to change flex direction, that is column. Okay, now let us style the image. We'll give it some class such as profile pic again. And you already know how to do this. You just have to change the height 100 px 200 and width 200 px. Yeah, and border radius 50%. Perfect. Now I want this to be in the center. So for that, we'll go to the flex properties over here and justify content center. And for this, we can just use align items center. Great. So now all of these are in the center, and let's get working on the subheading now. So the subheading, as you can see, is software developer. And you see the transparency over here is different, so we'll figure out how to do that as well. And I'll add a p tag over here for paragraph, and we'll call the class subheading. Okay, and in the subheading, you have to write software developer. Perfect. Okay, it's already in the center because of the flex. Now we just need to style the subheading. So I'll go over here and dot subheading. Again, the color would be white and okay, yeah, the color will add an RGBA over here. So for white, it's 255, 255, 255, and let's just add a transparency such as 0.7. Okay, and now we just need to change its font size. So the font size would be, let us say, 30 px or 40. No, I guess 30 looks better. Yeah, okay, 30 px. Now, after this, we need to add a small line over here, a tagline, and just to make it more appealing, And to that, again, we will use a p tag and we can use a class name such as heading text. And we can just, I'll just copy this line for now from here and just paste it in these tags. So you got a problem? I can definitely make you a solution. Click on the button below to see my work. Great. So now let's style this. And again, let's go to dot heading text, and the color over here I'm using the white color, so you can just write white over here, and let us add a background color to it. So background color RGBA, you can use red, and I'll add a transparency of 0.2. Oh, I'm sorry, it is red, so it's only gonna be 255, 0, 0. Great. Now we have the color. Now I also need to add some margin between the subheading and the text. So you can add a margin bottom over here that will be around, I think, 80 px. Perfect. So yeah, let's make it 60. And after you come over here, you just have to change the font size now around 30 px. No, 30 is that. Let's make it 25. Great. Now, the only difference is this text over here is in the center and this is not. So to fix this, we can use a text align property of CSS and make it center. Great. I think we can use 20 px. Yeah, that is better. Uh, Let us change some more. It doesn't, you need to get that look. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So let me tell you to just a moment. I think 20 would do. 25. Okay, great. So after this, all we need to do is to add this button over here. Now to add this button, we'll use a tag called anchor tag. The anchor tag is usually used for the links. So I'll show you. It is with A and we give an href and we for now we'll give it as hash, that means no link. And over here you have to use the value of the anchor tag, that would be view work. So you would see it appear over here. Now to style this, let's go to CSS and let us give it a class called heading button. So dot heading button, and I have the back. Okay, now what you have to do is, because it's a link, so you'll have two properties over here such as link and heading button visited. Otherwise, the color changes. So for these, because once you click on a link, it becomes visited, it changes its color to some purplish. So over here, you can add the color white and text decoration none to remove the line. Then I'm gonna add a margin top of around 50 px or let's say 80 px. Okay, great. And I'm gonna give it a background color of black and a padding of around 20 px. Great. So you'll know why the padding was used after we add the border. And border, you can give a border by specifying the size. Let's say 5 px, solid, orange red. And now all you need to do is add the border radius. Border radius. So you can see that the button over here is ready, and we finished our project, and you can see both of them are similar. There must be some minor changes due to the margin top and margin bottom. But other than that, yeah, we can add a margin bottom. I forgot to add it over here. Margin bottom around 20 px. And yeah, so now it's exactly how we wanted it to be. And as and when we make some more projects, we'll try to create another page. And after we click the view work button over here, we'll be able to go to that page and see all the projects. People will be able to see the projects we have built, and we'll learn some more advanced skills for that, such as CSS Flexbox. We'll go into more detail and CSS Grid as well. That's it for now. I hope you liked today's video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and keep learning. Thank you.